Me in just a minute. I'll let you guys know that I'm on live and post it in all the places. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Close your eyes for just a moment while I put you up on the tripod. And I'm gonna try to zoom in a little. Let's see if that's good enough. So we'll see. I was waiting for 2 o'clock, and then next thing I knew, 2 o'clock came, and I was like, oh no, now I'm late. Does that ever happen to you? Either way, I'm so happy that you're here. Let me get into Patreon so I can get the link. Oops. Where are we? Excuse me. So this is new for us because I don't know that I've done a live with you guys on the weekend. So it's a little different. My whole week's been thrown off. We've been at a tournament in Lubbock, Texas. And if you don't know anything about Lubbock, it is very dusty. We were not prepared for the amount of dust. And I don't know if it's this time of year that brings extra dust or if it's like this year round, but I had heard some of the locals say that they hadn't been out of their houses. They were older, but they hadn't been out of their houses in a couple weeks because of the dust, which is incredible. So, Robin, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Let me, should I come down? I'm going to give it a minute before we get started. So, sorry. I did tea dye these. I have a tea bath behind me. So, oh, I guess I could. Some of these are and these are just the Dollar Tree receipt books. So we're going to play with these today. You're doing good? Good, good, good. I heard it's been rainy where you're at. Am I right? Am I right? We needed some rain in Lubbock. It was so dusty. I need to do something about these nails. I was supposed to go before we went out of town, and I just didn't have it in me. What I did have in me was to cut my own hair. And I told Dave, I called him ahead of time, and I was like, I don't want any negative thoughts even like thrown my way. So repress them, do whatever you need to do, but I don't want to hear it. I'm going to cut it. And he was like, okay. It came out well. I actually tried to do a butterfly cut. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's this guy, Brad Mondo, on YouTube and TikTok. And the idea is if you have your head here, you take the front half of your hair and you put it in a ponytail like this, like a unicorn, and then you take this half of the hair and you put it up in a very high pony, and then you lay it down flat like this. You cut it straight across, cut the second one straight across, and when you pull it down, it's going to be layered. But mine inverted layered. So I have really thick hair, so I think I needed to do it in 4 ponies instead of 2. So my mom just helped me and cut straight across. So, I mean, it's really healthy and it looks good. So, Nancy! Oh, and I don't know where, hold on. Why is I changed phones. Hold on one sec. I'm going to try to put my volume all the way up. Did that help it at all? Oh, it's better. It was better before. Oh, probably because I stood up and I was right next to it. Let me think of where I have my microphone. Tell me first if it's better. I'll try to speak up. That's how mine was. It was so long and I was like, I just can't anymore. And I really wanted a bob cut, like a short cut. And everyone's like, no, 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 don't do it. So I didn't do it. But I cut it. It's like in the, well, mine's in the middle of my back right now, cut. It was all the way down to my behind. It was so long. We're good? Okay, good, good, good. All right, Robin, yes, and the weather changes giving me migraines. Yes, yes. That stinks about this time of year. What about you, Nancy? What's your weather looking like in beautiful Michigan? Mine looks good in a bob, but I figured it would be fun to go part way for a bit. Yeah, I think it's just hair and, have fun with it. One year after, let's see, Lexi, it was a bit ago, Lexi was still little. I think David was starting preschool, and I went with my dad. He wanted to go with me to go get my hair cut, and it was like at a mall or something, like a salon in the mall in North Carolina. And so he waited out in the mall. He walked around and then just waited like on one of the chairs or whatever. And I told him that I was going short, and my dad's very old school, very old school. Like, women wear lipstick and heels at all times, kind of, guy mentality. And so I told him I was going to cut it short, and I told the girl I wanted it in a bob, a short bob, but I did not want the back to be like, how they like shave the back or like make it short. And she was like, yeah, yeah, no. Anyways, she did do that. But it was a cute cut. But when I came out, I was like, hey, and he's like, oh, it's so short. So I always think of him. That's the kind of family I come from, where they're like, don't cut your hair, don't ever cut your hair. So I have to like fight that of like, it's okay to change it. It's all right. Yes, I don't like that back changed because you can't do anything with it. It's like very strange unless you want it like spiky. I don't know. It's just not my thing. Weather's gorgeous. It's 37. Nice. I know. I bet it's so beautiful there. Your hair looks better short, Robin. That's why, I think, so my mom's always had short hair, even though my dad was all about long hair. And I think when they got together, she was in her 20s, and I think she had longer hair, but she loved it short, like up to like that age. I wonder if she grew it long for him, now that I think about it, because even in like all her pictures, the most that, like, it would be shoulder length at most, but she likes it short. She always cuts it like almost like a boy, like very kind of androgynous, like a short hair. And it's funny, Dave's mom is the same way. She's got short hair like that too. But my mom usually has it kind of like right at the bottom of her chin. And um, it's funny because she's got very thin hair. But when she blow dries it and stuff, it looks nice and full, and it looks nice. And I'm always like, yeah, the thing with hair is sometimes you got to do stuff to it. Um, like, my hair is wavy, so either I need to curl it or straighten it, but it doesn't, like, if I just let it go, I personally don't like it. Someone else might look at it and be like, oh, nice. But I bleach my hair. Shh, don't tell anyone. And so that has taken some of the curl away, and so it's actually helpful to me because then I don't have to do so much to it. Robin says you're frozen. In Michigan at this time of year, they are in tank tops and flip flops because they are wanting that spring. That's but it is the most beautiful. But I know, Robin, you probably have very, very beautiful spring and summer up your way. I know last year it was hot. Hey, that's good, Nancy. That must mean that because every old lady has have short hair. I agree. I think I think we've talked about this, right? Like, we look at the pictures of like the Golden Girls and how like they were in their 40s. It's so crazy. And then if you change their hair and put their hair like what Jennifer Aniston has now, that they look so much younger. So I agree. I don't think it necessarily needs to be like, I remember it used to be like, okay, once you get a certain age, you got to cut your hair. And once you get another age, you get like, no, I don't agree with that at all. I like, I actually kind of really dislike rules like that. I don't like that. I don't play by those rules. Actually, once in Michigan, I had a white purse, and I'll tell you guys about this white purse. I was in an outlet in Florida, and there was these two guys, and they were looking at purses, and they were looking at white purses, and so I went over to them, and I was like, "Hey, can I ask you a question? Do you think it's okay to have a white purse? Because when I lived here in Texas years ago, they were like, no, you can't wear white after, is it Labor Day or something? Like their rule, like after summer, you're not allowed to wear white, whatever. And they were like, honey, you can wear white whenever you want. And I was like, I'm getting the purse. And I got the purse. Fast forward, I was in Michigan, and I was, I think, going into either like a TJ Maxx or Hobby Lobby, one of those. And this lady was like, "Oh, I really like your purse." I was like, "Thank you." And she's like, "Oh, I guess it's like a winter white. You're not scared to wear white." And I was like, "Are you kidding?" I was like, "No, honey, you can wear white anytime you want." So I don't abide by any of those rules. You'll see me wearing white year round, and um, still cool, but better than snow. Yeah, that's true. Even though we would have liked some snow, but we didn't really get any. Well, and I'm guessing it might just be. Oh, I see some people on, but they're not talking. So okay, so I'm gonna get started. So we're gonna do. I had now I can't remember who asked me. I think it was Summer asked about how to put the receipt books in journals, and so I thought we'd do a little project. And it's funny because I looked online and there was really nothing online for these, so I need to make a formal YouTube video about it. Um but we're gonna work on a little project. So what I did before I got on the call with you guys this morning, I just did a tea dye, like a very thin tea dye, and I had these flashcards from Dollar Tree. So you can see it's barely a difference. It's got just a little bit of tea dyeing. And then these I slipped in, and hold on, I'll tell you. So it looks like the yellow ran through, because it's one white and then one yellow underneath. So I kind of slipped them in like this. And so this one I really like. It's got like the blue bled, and it also has that brown color. That's kind of more what I was looking for. So I might throw these back in, but I wanted to show you guys that. So the first thing I wanted to say, hold on, I have notes so that I don't forget what I'm doing. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, I have something funny to tell you guys. So you guys were with me last year, right? When we had or you've heard about the stuff that happened with tennis with the Christian schools and being rude and stuff. And we were sitting at dinner, and I was talking to the other parents, and our coach was there, and I was like, yeah, I have, my YouTube channel, and then I have my Patreon, and, I've talked to them about what's happening. And it's funny, the look on her face was like, what? And I was like, it's just so funny, because we look at things like that it's so small, and you think, okay, well, this is how it is because this is how it's always been. But when you bring it into a larger scale and you look at it that way, then you're like, wait, maybe that's not right, and maybe that's not the way things should have been done. But it was just funny, the look on her face, probably oh, you shouldn't be sharing that stuff, and maybe I shouldn't. But my belief is anything that I would say about someone, I'm ready to say it to their face. I probably don't need to, because it might, hurt their feelings, but I would say it to their face. But happy to say that this tournament was amazing. We had a couple of bumps, but nothing like we've had in the past. It was so nice. And I don't know if it's, I said I went in and it was like a beautiful day. It was really, really dusty in Lubbock. And we were able to get there. I'll tell you guys the whole story, but I was like very chill, and I looked at Dave and I was like, I think God gave me like a Xanax, because I am not worried about whether she wins. Of course, I want her to win. And her and her doubles partner, they got second place. They almost got first, and they played really tough competitors, and they just made a couple mistakes and ended up missing it at the end. But we were so proud of them, and it was just a really good experience. So I'm very thankful for that. And I've been asking you guys for prayers. Some of it is for tennis, because you guys know that I'm like constantly stressed out over all the stuff that happens there. So thankfully, yeah, God took control and it was all good and we had a great time. Okay, what are my things that I was going to tell you guys? Okay, so I wanted to tell you some things that you can do with the receipts. So you can use it. Let me grab a little whatever journal I have. Let's see. I organized my room, and so now I don't have that many journals sitting out. I have them put away somewhere, so I have to remember what I have out. So let's say this is your page. You could put this at the edge right here, and you can sew around it, and then this can be a pocket. You can do it on this side too, and have the pocket go this way. This is very thin. It's very thin, which is really nice, because it would also make a great page. So like how we talked about having like little, like in this journal, how the pages aren't all the same size. This would be wonderful, like stuck here. Pretend that was folded. That would look really cute like that. But this is really thin, and it, I like that like crinkle feel. It's kind of, it's like newsprint, but it's like an old document maybe. But if you want to give it a little bit of sturdiness, you can always back it with some cardstock or even book page. I think that would be really cute, and then you could put it here. Let's see, what else can you do with this? You can use it. We're gonna go over using it as a business ledger, but you can use it to document a memory. So you can use the lines here, and you can write outside of the lines. Like you could be writing right here, and you can write like, let's say our trip to Lubbock. Lubbock trip. The thing with journaling is this. You don't have to write a poem. You don't have to write like a paragraph or like a story. You can do like, let's say I would write Lubbock. Actually, here, hold on, I'll do one. How I would do it. So let's say I go here, Lubbock, Texas, and then, it was the 21st. Actually, it was the 20th. So here I'll do March 30. Oops, that was 20th. That's okay. 2025, and then let's say I want to say dusty, sunny, 75 degrees. I don't remember if that was, it was colder than that, but I'll say second place, fun dinner. What else happened? Brody card trick. One of the kids did a card trick that was pretty amazing. Almost fight. 2 tables got in a fight at dinner. And so you don't have to write like, you know, because I think for me, sometimes what I struggle with, I am an English major, so I struggle with wanting to make it sound pretty and flourish and, you know, all that. It doesn't need to be like that. It can literally just be things that you want to remember. And then I can write here, I don't remember how it's spelled, the tournament, but it was like Spachia, whatever. Let's say that's it. Um, Coach Dan, and and then here, let's say I didn't write that it was for tennis, so here maybe in like a script, I can do tennis doubles. And then this is a little keepsake that now I can add, and I should not be using this because this bothers my brain. I start, hold on, let me see if I can find a pen. Okay, I think this one will be better. Then you can stick this, you can paper clip it in, you can fold it so that it's not seen, so it's kind of a hidden journal spot. You can stick this inside, so I had this little guest check pocket. I can stick it inside of here and then have the notes peeking out. If I wanted to see the receipt, which I like that, I like being able to see that, I could stick this in here like this and see how adorable that looks. And I think that that's fun. What else can we do with this? You could, if you back this, the receipt card, just the regular one, you can back it onto some cardstock and make it into a bookmark. And then the last thing that I'll say is you can do a collage page and then, you know, tear this up into rectangle squares or, you know, something in between, and then you can add this in the collage page. I don't know that I have one here in this book. Let's see. This little book was from Lori at a retreat that she did with her church and she invited me to. Yeah, I don't think I have any collage. But see how this is like a little half page? It would be the same thing if you folded it in. Yeah, I guess I don't have a collage page, but you guys know you would just use this as papers. And because it's kind of see-through, you can kind of see through this, then it would actually do really well with collaging. So, okay, so those are some ways that you could use that. The same with these cards. What I would suggest to do with these cards is to back them on a cardstock, or even a copy paper would work okay. You'd be able to maybe see a little through it. Let's see. You can very faintly see through it, but then you can use this as a journaling card, and you can do the same thing. You can tip it in, you can add it with a paper clip, and I think we're gonna do a tip in, so we'll go over that. But you could do the same thing here that I did here, and you could write around it. You know, you'd have to write a little bit smaller, you'd maybe be a little more creative. Maybe you could do bullet points. You can do, you know, let's do one. Let me do it with one that's not coffee dyed. But let's say today is Saturday. Actually, I'm going to do the Sharpie and just hold my nose. Because it has a little bit of a slickness to it. So let's say I would do Saturday. And then today's the 22nd, right? So let's see, 3/22. And if you want to do 25, you can do 25. And then let's say a bullet point. So what happened today? Let's see. What's the first thing? Unpacking from Lubbock. Laundry. Bagels. The bug guy came, so I could do that bug guy. Let's see. Live. I'll do Patreon. And that's all that's happened. But then I can do it bullet point, and for some reason your eye, like, it'll see this, but it'll see the writing. It will come play with you and Lori. I know we need to do something. Or hey, Nancy, you know who James Burke is? Do you, and Robin, do you know who he is? But anyway, so you and that was the only time. We barely get together. It's so actually embarrassing because we're about an hour away. Like, when push comes to shove, it's an hour drive. I have to go, I'm on this side of Dallas, she's on this side of Dallas, and just getting through that dreaded Dallas is like, it's a lot. And so she's actually never even been here. I've been to her house a few times, and but I know we need to get together. And I don't know. And last time I lived in Texas, I was the same way. Like, with my friends, I didn't see them that much. And when I moved back, we were saying, like, we're going to see each other all the time. And then COVID happened, and then we didn't. And I don't know what happens here. Something happens to me here, or something. I go, like, dormant. I go hiding. I don't know. All the neighbors are like, we never see you. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm doing stuff inside. So James Burke has something that he calls a, well, you might know. It's something, is it Voyage? Virtual Voyage. And he does a class, and I don't even know the details on it because I've never taken it. I've never really looked into it that much. And he, Melanie Sullivan is someone, if you guys don't know her on YouTube, she's got some really great ideas, and she lives somewhere in Texas, but she has taken his class, and she showed her, like, notebook from taking his class. And if I'm not mistaken, he takes paintings. So, like, let's say he takes, like, the I'm trying to think of a Disney, because I think he does Disney stuff. But let's say he takes Toy Story, and instead of drawing them in Toy Story, like, that it matches the actual cartoon, he'll take it and he'll do it, like, with different artist styles. So, like, Mary Blair, who did the art for, like, Small World, he'll do all of the characters in Mary Blair, and it's like a long, and people dress up, I think, and so it's a virtual class like that. So kind of like live, but maybe more like a Zoom. I don't know if you share cameras or not. Like, if it's like Zoom where which I would think maybe it would be, because then that way, because I feel like people get dressed up, and he and his partner or husband, I think it's his husband, they get, like, all dressed, like, they go all out, like, they are, but the husband's like a photographer, and then James Burke is just James Burke, and he's got, like, so much creativity and stuff. So they go, like, crazy. Like, some of their costumes and stuff are insane. But anyways, maybe we could plan something along those lines. Not like that, but, with that, like, kind of something virtual. Okay, where were we? Now I'm like, forgot what we're gonna do. Okay, so I think the first one that I'm gonna do, hold on, I had, like, little, wait, where was it? Yeah, here we go. So I think the first one that we're gonna do is going to be backed on cardstock. So I'm gonna grab I'm going to grab a piece of this color cardstock, and I'm going to, wrong thing. I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to back this. I think what I'm going to do here, instead of, because it's got these little like dotted lines, instead I'm going to grab a pair of scissors if I have them. I don't, you know, like the squiggly scissors, so I'm going to just cut that off. Oh, did you guys see that Joann's is closing? Have you guys gone? I looked like online at their stuff, and it didn't, they took off their coupons, and then the sales were 40% off. So I was like, it was not great. I thought, you know, maybe I'd grab some Tim Holtz stuff, but I'm going to cut this down just a little. And let me go back to you guys because I took you off so I can see if you're talking. Yes, that's the problem with the classes. And I think that's the thing, is I missed the live one, which I think would be a lot of fun because it seems like they have a lot of energy and stuff. But it's hard. I understand. It's hard when there's so many things. And I think you and I are, and probably all three of us are on the same page. I'm looking for a glue stick. That we want to do all the things. We like all the things. The mixed media things are cool. The, you know, all the, there's so many things to do. I organize and then still can't find anything. Okay, let me go hunt for a glue stick. Oh, there it is. I cleaned up in here and reorganized it a bit, and it's good and bad because I feel like I'm now looking for things. Oh, I love the back of that though. That's okay. We're gonna take one for the team, so to speak. And I'm going to leave a very small border. Oops. Let's try that again. Try not to have air bubbles, but so funny how it like flattened out like that. It looks like a completely different thing now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just use my scissors and cut the edges out. I'm gonna leave that piece there for now, but what I'm gonna do is distress the edges a little bit. All the things in no time, I know. And unfortunately, my mom is the same way, because I was like, so she's got my like my first sewing machine I ever had, and that's the one I usually use for paper. The one I have in this room is like my nice one for like sewing fabrics and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move it, because she's been here and she hasn't done any sewing, but I leave it for her so that she can sew if she wants. And she's like, no, don't take it. Like, I'm gonna sew, but she doesn't do anything. She starts a bunch of projects, but does not finish them, and we laugh. So I think I used to be like that more, but when I started the channel, then I committed, once I started like creating more on Instagram, then I was like, no, I'm gonna be more serious about it and kind of commit to it. And I'm gonna grab these because they're just sitting there. And, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Because I committed to do it, then I was doing more. So I do think that when you have a community around, and if we can get that band working where we're posting projects, even if it's like this, like, hey, this is what I'm working on, and it's like, you know, the beginning of something. It's kind of like having an exercise partner that kind of keeps you accountable. And I know for me that has helped me, because I had so many projects. Like, I can show you 10 at least journals that I have started and never done anything with, never finished. Well, like this one, I've had this since 2020, and you saw how many pages. And I've done, and the ones that are completed are probably ones that I did on Instagram. So, I was kind of thinking that this might be fun. Oh, you know what would be fun? What if we make this into a tab? So I'm gonna just draw a tab. And I'm not worried if it's even, it's even. If it's not, it's gonna get a little distressed anyways, so. Oops, sorry. Right around this corner. Okay, hold on, let me go back. I looked at, okay, I've gone and their sales were better than the clearance. You're saying their sales used to be better than what their clearance prices are now? Because that's what I thought too. Do not care for Joann's. I agree. I totally agree. Yes, that's true. You won't be, I won't hoard. I will not hoard. You know that the sound on TikTok, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just thinking about it. I did it. that's the the theme song. Make another thing. Yeah, now I will say I went one time and they had, it was not, okay, so when you go over like to the Tim Holtz stuff and they have like their prices and stuff, it showed like regular price, not on sale. But then when I scanned it at the store, which you can do with your app now, and I scanned it and it was like let's say an item was $5, $4.99, and it was coming up like I don't know, $2 or something like that. And so I did score that day, but it does not happen a ton with them. When I was doing the what do you call it, planning stuff, they had like kind of a really good selection. Well, there were things that you couldn't get at any other stores. They were carrying like Happy Planner would carry half of their stuff, like certain items that were only licensed for Joann's, and then some that were only licensed for the other one, Michael's. And so, I was like going back between both to have both of the things, because like I had to. But no, this is vintage photo. Oh, you're talking about the burlap, the brush corduroy? Is that what you mean? This one that I use all the time? It's like a yellow color. But somebody told me about frayed burlap, and I think that I need to write that down now that I'm remembering. Frayed burlap. That's actually another thing that you can do to add to your journals, is like a list any kind of list, but it could be a list of materials that you want, and then as you get them, you know, you mark it off or whatever. Or you just leave it as a list. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? I'm gonna grab, I have some fabrics here, so I think I'm just gonna, whatever's on my table, I'm just gonna cut little tiny snippets of it, and we'll distress it so that yeah, I love, so usually I add this first, the brush corduroy, and then on the edges I'll do the vintage photo. But vintage photo is like not really my, I think it's a little muddy. So I'm wondering if the frayed burlap might be better. Now Lori, she's got like all the Tim Holtz stuff. It's really nice. Like going to her house and playing with all this stuff is really nice. So I'm just gonna layer these. I'm going to cut this so that it's a circle to kind of mimic that circle. Okay, I like that. Let's see, let's grab, speaking of Tim Holtz, let's grab some ready-made ephemera. Let's see, this was already out. Perfect. I'm not even gonna give it a second thought. And I might use one of these, I think they call them PET, I don't even know. Stickers, they're like a clear, and then this peels off, but I'm gonna leave it together because it's gonna give me a little bit of stability. I'm gonna nestle that one, and I think I might have 2 of those. Yep. So I'm gonna, oh, they're different, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put that under here. So let's see. I think to attach this, am I missing? Where's that other fabric? Oh, it's here. I can barely see it. That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use my stapler, tiny attacher. And I'm gonna follow the antenna. And then if I want to add this one, you could also sew these. I think that would look really cute too. But I'll go ahead and add this one down here, also at the antenna, or the, whatever this is called. Whatever that piece is. And I think I want to add, oh, what if we did, let's see. See, who said you don't need math? So I thought we could add something like this, but I want the numbers in there. So, okay, I'm gonna cut this down. We're gonna try it. Okay, so I've covered the numbers, but I can see some numbers here. I could do like this, and then you can kind of see a piece of the 9, and then you can see some of these numbers. I like that. And I think I'm going to attach it, the whole thing, even though I'm going to go through the back, just for time with you guys. That way it's sturdy too. But I think that's really cute. And then the back, I mean, we can put, hold on, we'll put a little word, something here. Let me see if I have one here. Let's trying to see if I have anything that's like that red, like to match this color. Look how cute that is. Oops, where are you guys? Okay, so now we have a little, and this can get added anywhere with a paper clip. You can add it with a safety pin, like a bulb pin. I have one or a couple right here. That would look so cute, wouldn't it? And just like that, cut this little piece off. I don't know what this goes to a journal somewhere, but you could even just poke using the pin, poke holes through this and your page and attach it like that. That would be really cute as well. So okay, so that's number one. And then number two, we were, today we were supposed to go over like handwriting and stuff. So I'm gonna kind of mix the two, and we're going to, what time is it? Okay. We're going to make one of these. And so I'm gonna kind of talk to you guys about like script and how I go about doing script. This isn't obviously the only way, but this is how I do it. So let me grab this paper. Okay, so cursive, so let's get a word like let's just use the word glue. So, oh, this pen is not that great. Let me try a different one. But you've got your normal, the way that you would write it in cursive. This might be better. Okay, well, all of my pens are giving up on me. So that's the word glue. What I have found is in the olden days, their stuff really pronounced over to the right hand side. So this, you can see even when I turn my page, and I always do that when I'm writing cursive. It must have been the way that I was taught. But you can see it's almost going up and down, like my letters fit like this, right? When you look at old ledgers and stuff, their stuff goes like this. So the lines would be more like this. So one of the things you can do is you can turn your page more. I have to use this. And so we'll go ahead and try it, glue. And so now, because I turn my page more, it is slightly going that way. It's more than this, but it's definitely not like this. So then the other thing that I like to do is go faster. So instead of trying to write it out and get the letters perfect, you're going to just like you're a doctor writing a script, and then you can see this already gave me a bigger inclination going over to the right. And so I find that is very helpful to go faster. So if you need to, while you're practicing, you can have a scratch piece of paper and try it out on scratch first before you commit and go into your project. But with these like receipt pages, you get a ton of them for $1.25. So, that's something that you can definitely play with. So we're just gonna do, I did this one, and I did March 10th or 20th, 1910, and it was from Agnes Butterfield for $1.25. And you could get as creative as you want. You could look online and see like how calculators that will show you how much like standard things were, like how much a loaf of bread was at that time, or what, like, you know, depending on how serious you want to get about this, you can go into it, and then you can fill this out as if it was an actual receipt. So we're going to do one right now, and we're going to, hang on a second, is this, hang on, I had, oh, there it is. Okay, I have a list of names to make this easier for me. So we're gonna do, let's see, how about May? And we're gonna do her name. So I'll do it here first. So I'll do May. Let's see, what last name? Hensley. Hensley, okay? And then we're gonna say that she was going to a bakery, and we could put the bakery name on top. So I'm gonna say bakery, and it's called I don't know, Cookies. I don't know, whatever. And then she bought, let's see, what could she have bought? Maybe, maybe she bought a, no, that's too much, a turnover. And it cost her, I don't know, let's say 5 cents. And then she bought 3 of them, let's say. And then let's say she did white loaf. So white bread loaf. And let's say that was 10 cents. And she got 2 of them. And then she got some shortbread. And it was, I don't know, let's go with 6 cents. I don't know. 6 cents, and it was for 6 of them. I don't know. I don't know how much stuff cost back then. But so we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna put it here. And we're kind of being a little aggressive with as much as going to fit here, because this is kind of smaller. If you have like the guest checks, you can do the same thing as this, which I think that was a guest check here. Yeah, right here. So you have definitely more real estate on here to write, but you can still do it with something like this. And you could, so what I would do, instead of writing out Cookies or whatever the name of your bakery is, you can take a stamp. So I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna grab these, which are these little, these are from Joann's actually. And where's my, I'm gonna grab the vintage photo, and I'm gonna start with Cookies up at the top, if I can with these nails. My dad used to smoke when I was little. He smoked a ton. He smoked like 4 packs of Marlboro Reds. And if you're around anyone that smokes, that's a lot of smoking. I know I need the S. I need the O. Anyways, I did that, and it kind of reminded me, like I remember him doing something like that. Come on, letter O. My. Looks like I'm playing Operation. What letters do I have already? I have C, O, O, S, so I need the K, and then I-E. K, I, E. Okay. Stick those back in. And if you want to be all precise about this, you can. I am not going to be. We're going to go kind of quickly. I'm running out of time. C, O, O, K. I think that's the I. Cookie. And I think that when the letters go a little wonky, that helps it look better. I think the S goes like this. Bye, Robin. Love you. Okay, cookies. And then now we're going to go ahead and we'll do today's date. So today's the 22nd. So we'll do March 22nd. And then we'll do 1919. So you can do it however you want. I like writing out the date. So I'm going to do my March, and I'm going to do like that. So a small, big, small. But I'm going to go fast. March 22nd, 1910. And I feel like they do it like more elongated. That's not perfect, but it's okay. And then what did we say her name was? May Hensley. So we're going to go May Hensley. And ooh, let's add this. So this is 15.21 cents. Wouldn't that be nice? And I'm going to do the little cents thing because I think that would look cute. And then she got turnovers. And I'll do the same thing, 0.5. Oh, I said 3 of them. I did that wrong. So I'm going to leave the 3 out of it. And we're going to do white loaf. And we're going to do 0.10 cents. So forget the 2. And then the shortbread, we're just going to say each one was a penny. Or, yeah, a penny, and it was 6 pennies for that. And then we're going to do shortbread. And it's 6 cents. And so, what did I do here? Let's see. I'm going to do like a signature and for my signatures, I always copy one of my bosses. Or no. It was in high school, whenever you'd get a pass written out, like the teachers would just go like that. And so that's how I'm going to do it. It's not anything real. And I'm going to make up an account number. I'm going to say 47-253. And then they paid 21 cents. And I'll do the little cents here. And then due is 0. And they paid in cash. And I think that's it. And so now we have a little like, and you know what I would do here? I would do Cookies Bakery. I'd write that out because cookies just looks like it's like floating there. But now you have a little receipt that looks like it was old without it being old, and it instead came from Dollar Tree. So we're gonna take some of the vintage photo and just distress here and there. And I think I'm gonna rip this a little bit so that it shows a little bit more worn. So right here. We can also crinkle this. and then take it out. I think that that adds to more authenticity. I also like to take stuff and fold it and then take the ink and just run like a line so it looks like it's been folded for a long time. Sometimes I'll do one going the other direction. Oops, and that broke. So what I could do here, I could also add, I have some of this tape. I might be able to get it up, I might not because of these nails. Darn, 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 darn. So let's say that's split like that, and we're just going to add the tape right here, and I think that's it. And so now you can see if you wanted to put it, where was that page? Here. You could add it, and then you could still make this into a pocket or something, but I think that it looks like it could be an old receipt. It, you know, it's just something fun to do. Here's some white, so maybe I'll distress this. You could also add little holes in it. I'm just going to take my pencil and like poke a hole through it. Actually, let's go this way. Oh, you know what else we can do? So I'm going to poke a hole through that, but I want to, yeah, I want to make it like bigger like that. And then we're going to take our distress stain and go around it because that's what would naturally happen. I like to also smudge it with my finger. That makes it look like it's been there. And then I'm going to add a couple staples so that it looks like maybe you tore it off of something. And now you have something that you got from Dollar Tree that you can put into your journal, and it looks old and yummy, and like, look how cute that looks if you open that up. So anyways, so that's pretty much it. Let me see if there was anything else that I had in my notes. Give me one sec. Because I said we were going to, what did I say we were going to do? We were going to talk about, oh, I said we were going to talk about a tip-in. So on this one, let's pretend this is a tip-in. So you could take the same distressed tape, and then you can tip this in. And all tipping in is, if you don't know already, it's just where your element, whatever this ephemera is kind of interactive. It'll flip this way. So you're going to want to take a piece of tape, let's say about that size, and tape it here, and then you fold this over, and you exactly where you had the other, you're going to tape it. Whenever you're doing a tip-in, the main thing you want to do is not extend your tape past the ephemera because it won't flip as easily. So you'll have to like cut it. You can still make it work, but it's best not to. So, and I thought I took those. Oh, I didn't take that edge off of this one. So I'm gonna take it off of here. And if you had the scissors that cut like the squiggly or zigzag, that would be fun to do here because then it looks more like it's ripped out of a book. You can actually even do it on this side because how would you know what side it was on? So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that it brought you some inspiration and that this is something that you can now add to your journals. So I'll go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you have a rest the rest of your weekend is very good and you're able to enjoy your time and maybe slow down and create something fun. This is a fun project to make in a short amount of time. So, okay, love you guys, and I will see you sometime later in the week. Okay, love you. Bye. Bye, Nancy. Love you. Yes, the fiddling's the best part. Okay, see you later in the week. Love you. Bye.